simple Saturday, people. On my short lifts of folks that know me and look at my stuff. Beautiful Saturday morning here in the Kirky, and I am starting out the day on the messing with the Sporties. My elbow's still not 100%. Still have to go to the doc and get x-rays for follow-ups, see how I'm healing, but I'm able to ride the bikes and do some light stuff. So gonna take out Chaz's new to us 2003 Sportster XL883 Custom this morning, and we finally got the two new Sporties plated and insured yesterday, and so we now legally own and can ride these bikes on the highway. I'm still not sure about the 98 because of the front forks. I've ridden it around here and I've done cold starts on it and it starts right up. I'm sure it's going to need a lot of work, and we'll find out on the 2001 that I wrecked whether that's going to be totaled, or if totaled, if we're going to be able to salvage it and work with it, or if the frame is shot and the 98 becomes a donor bike for the 2001 and rebuilding it, the 98 into as close as I can get to the 2001. Anyway, so I'm going to cold start this bike this morning. It's about 60 degrees here in the Kirky, maybe 65. So my gas on. So I got a full tank of gas. Gonna have to adjust that enrichener. And let's see how the cold start goes with this old carbureted 2003. Number 2. Third try. Number 4. There we go. Trying to do the enrichener and the gas at the same time. There she goes. So when I picked up my 2001 in Germany, in Frankfurt, I've always followed the routine that they walked me through at the Harldy-Davidson dealership in Frankfurt, Germany. So I keep my enrichener going for a minute, then halfway in for another 45 seconds or so, and at that point this 2003 carbureted Evo ought to be idling good. We're at about 30 seconds. About 45-ish. Alright. Let that go for about half a minute or so. Man, I missed the sound of my 2001 Evo before I did all the changes to it. As good as it sounds now with the S&S parts, the unaltered Evos sound really nice, even with the stock mufflers, at least for my ears. So here we go, we're about 30-ish. Oh yeah, there we go. My car's gonna need her car's gonna need a little bit of work. All right, we'll pull it out for a little bit longer, about halfway. Do another 30 seconds at halfway pull on the enrichener / choke. Probably going to do about maybe a 30 or 40 mile ride this morning. here. So with that, from the Kirky with new to us, Chastity's 2003 Sportster Custom 883 Espinosa out. Well, hello, happy Monday. It's American People Workers Day, Labor Day, marking the end of summer 2024. We still have about 3 weeks left of summer, more or less, give or take a couple of days before we hit the fall, but it's already cooled down quite a bit here in central part of New Mexico. So I am out and about on Household 6's new to us Sportster Custom, the XL883 from 2003. So every single bike that Harley came out with in 2003 was an anniversary bike. They didn't make a limited number with the 100th anniversary graphics or badging or anything. Every single Harley that came out in 03 had the 100th anniversary badging and paint, which is the paint job and all that stuff is pretty cool, but it just means that if you have a 2003, it doesn't make it any more valuable than any other year of a Harley-Davidson because they are not unique. It's not like the 75th anniversary in 93 when only a limited number of certain models had the special badging and special paint for the 75th anniversary. I think they did the same thing at 120. I don't know what they did at 105 or whatever. Anyway, out in the Sporty, been riding consistently 65, 70 miles per hour. She's buzzy as expected with an 883. Or any Sportster of the era for that matter. They're solid mounted engines, and the Sporties are a little bit vibraty, but that makes them have their own character, and I love the bikes. So here we go, out on the res here in central New Mexico. Absolutely beautiful out here in this part of New Mexico. Just really pretty, and just having a blast out on the 883. She's doing great. I detailed her today, and she's looking absolutely beautiful. I had noticed when we got the bike, and then when I was riding her and just looking around at the bike the past couple of weeks, that the front rim didn't look quite right, the front wheel. Although it looks great on the bike, it had the look of the original wheels on my 2001 Sportster, which had lace wheels front and back, because the tire looks a little fat on the front, which looks pretty cool, but the diameter didn't look like what you normally see on the Custom. So it turns out somewhere along the line of ownership of this bike, somebody changed the 21-inch Custom wheel for a 19-inch, which looks great. The stance of the bike is great with that 19. She handles great. So never ridden a bike with a 21, so I don't know how much different it would have handled than ours that has the 19-inch, and I like the way it looks. I don't plan to put a 21. We're leaving that because I had noticed, as I mentioned in a couple of previous videos when we first got the bike, that these laced wheels look brand new, and I think that they are. But neither here nor there. We got a great looking wheel front and back. The back is original, because when I was detailing her today, it took quite a bit of work, and it'll take some more. The staining and pitting that the solid cast aluminum wheels from Harley-Davidson get, and it's getting all the brake dust and stuff from this side. So I cleaned her up as best I could with a Brillo pad or a SOS pad, and got off most of the staining, and then I'll go ahead and I'll spend more time with aluminum polish and work that stuff out. The bike is absolutely beautiful. As I was cleaning her up today, this powder coating, or I think they call it a wrinkle finish, that Harley did on these engines, is starting to peel a little bit. You can see it right there. That's okay. I'll just make sure not to scrub her with SOS pads or scrub her as hard, and try to keep the little bit of seeping that we have going on right now. It looks like right over here. And so we'll know if there's anything up with this engine. But right now she's running great, just like the 883 that the red one is running. Absolutely great. And as I hang around the bike a little bit more, I start to see a little bit more of the flaws of the bike, and I'll get some black touch-up paint and touch that scratch up right there. I don't know how they scratch. Probably working on the bike, somebody scratched it. There's a tear on the clutch cable right there. I'm not a mechanic about that, but other than that, the bike looks absolutely beautiful. She is 21 years old, and she has a little bit of scrapage and stuff, but nothing that is not to be expected of a bike of this many years on the road, and still looks pretty damn new to me. All Harley-Davidsons, when you take off the seats that have the pillion on them, they do get smudging up in here, all of them. If you're taking your seat on and off, it's gonna end up smudging right up there. One thing I'm gonna have to get is I'm gonna have to get her mirrors, because this one is loose. So about 55 miles an hour, she ends up falling asleep and goes down. And you can't tighten these ones like you can on the stock mirrors that came with, I don't know if they came with, these are stock for the 2003, but I know that 2002 and earlier had the square mirrors, and those mirrors had 2 screws right up in here where you could adjust the tightness of your mirror, so when it started getting loose like this, you could tighten it up. These ones, once they start going loose, they're done. Which kind of is a bummer, because the mirrors from, especially from Harley-Davidson, are not cheap. So there she is. I'll take a few pictures, and I've started loading back up on YouTube. So these will be both on my Facebook and on my YouTube page. So I want to make sure I get some good video of the bike, because I know when I look at videos on YouTube, sometimes the guys don't show enough of their bikes, and I really want to see the bikes. And I just love Sportsters, especially these older Sportsters, which to me are not old because they were brand new when I started riding, and this is what I started out on. So there's the badging right there, 100th anniversary. And then they had a little emblem right there, little touches that Harley-Davidson did on the bikes. We're going to change out that derby cover because that's not really our taste. A lot of guys like them. It's not my style. So we'll change that out. Again, I'm going to relocate the horn on both this bike and the red 98 to where they belong here on the Jiffy Stand side of the motorcycle. So she looks just beautiful, man. This is a 5-inch bike for sure. You have to really get up on it to see any of the imperfections on the paint. So there she is. A 2003 Harley-Davidson Sportster Custom XL883. And this is actually the first time that this bike that I've ever ridden 883s, and I am not disappointed by it. I went with a 1200 when I bought my 2001 because I wanted more horsepower and blah blah blah. Anyway, I am not disappointed with the 883, how she pulls. Obviously not as strong as the 1200s or any of the 883s or 1200s that have been bored out, but she's absolutely perfect. And for what these Sportsters are built for, they're cruising bikes. You pound through all the gears in town, on the highway, they're an absolute blast. And you just have to accept the bike for what it is, the Sportsters or any any motorcycle from any manufacturer for what it's meant to be, and this bike is meant to cruise and take her easy on the road, have fun, not win any drag races or win any races on the curves, but it'll take what you throw at her. You just got to know what she's capable of and what you're capable of as an operator on the motorcycle. And I wouldn't trade experiencing any of my motorcycles and what they have for anything. I got a couple of Indians, and those are high performing bikes, both the touring bike and the FTR. Then I have a Buell, which is a pretty good performer, and I got a Fat Boy, and then I got the 4 Sporties. And each bike is unique. Each bike rides differently, and each one of them is a blast to ride. I just wish that, or I hope that manufacturers take note, people that make goods, and stop getting into politics and just make a good product. Make a product that we have fun drinking, eating, riding, driving, whatever. And there, I'll sign off here by getting a capture of this beautiful side of the res over here. Absolutely beautiful out here. There's nothing here. You get a couple of vehicles every 5 to 10 minutes, which means that the traffic is slow to none on this highway. So with that, on a holiday weekend, Labor Day 2024, from the res in central New Mexico, Espinosa out. About to come off the reservation and about to hit the interstate on a 2003 Harley-Davidson Sportster with a stock 883 engine, and that includes stock mufflers. So I'm probably not pronouncing that right. It's my Hispanic accent coming out now that I've been back in New Mexico out of the Army for 13 years. So that stock exhaust that came with the bike from Harley-Davidson factory, along with the original 883 cubic centimeter 45-degree V-twin Evolution engine. No cam upgrade, no breather upgrade. Everything on this motorcycle is stock. And I am about to take her for about 30 miles or so on Interstate 40 as I head east back down to the Kirky. So let's see how the 883 does. Got no windshield, got no fairing in the front. Pretty much, except, you know, other than some minor stuff like hand grips and that add-on that makes it feel like you have a footboard, the motorcycle is stock. I just spent about 3 hours or so this morning detailing her, and she's looking really good. Got some more work to do on the solid cast aluminum rim on the back, but she's looking actually fantastic. This is a 5-inch motorcycle. You have to really get up on her to see the defects in the paint. She looks absolutely beautiful. 2003 Harley-Davidson anniversary, 100th year anniversary Sportster Custom. So I really love the way Harley did used to do the little risers on their custom Sportsters back in the day. I think the dynos had a similar setup with the certain dyno models. The only thing it's missing that I wish that the customs had is the tachometer, which I think you used to be able to get it out before the parts became obsolete with Harley-Davidson. There was a tack that you could order from the catalog that went up in here, and you could get that attached. So she goes to the dock tomorrow up in Santa Fe, the fab shop there in Santa Fe. So there she is. Not sure what kind of seat household sis is going to end up wanting on this bike, but I have a stock solo seat that came off of a Hugger. That's the Hugger stock solo seat that came off the 98. So that's what it has on there right now, because the seat that it had on there, the Harley-Davidson Sportster seat, just wasn't fitting right, and it was the mount for back here. It was bent awkward, and it was just going to scratch up and cause some denting up and scratching up in here. So I decided to leave that off. I was like, you don't need to get on the bike, put full weight on it with that like that. We'll get her a seat once she gets tired of this stock seat. So with that, on a beautiful, cool end of summer day, end of the Labor Day weekend, about to get on Interstate 40 for about 20 or 30 miles or so. After action review to follow. Espinosa from the Reds in central New Mexico, out.